Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today? Hold on one second. Where's my glasses? Probably over there. Nah. Yeah. Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Thank you. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my podcast, Talkin Wit TRus, which is a very interactive podcast, and we specialize in men's mental health and men's mental health awareness. Um, Good evening and welcome. I want to welcome everybody that's about to join in, that's joining in right now as we speak, that's coming on right now as we speak. Over here looking at I see everybody. That's great. Okay, how you doing? So first off, we want to. He went back on my.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So we got you straight. I want to welcome everybody here. I see that you see that we got some new things happening on the podcast. We graduating here. We moving up. We making changes. A whole bunch of changes here.
Live with us too.
Huh?
Unique.
Unique? Okay, cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's what's up. All right. So real quick, I want to introduce my first guest. We're gonna just jump right into it. I want to introduce my first guest. This gentleman here has a very interesting story, and I'm going to allow him to do what he do and tell us his story. The gentleman name that I have with me today goes by Big Bear. How you doing, brother? I want to welcome you to the Talkin Wit TRus show. How you doing, brother?
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Well, this platform, once again, I just want to say that this is a no judgment zone. We speak freely amongst men, amongst like brothers. And this is a place where I feel that men like ourselves could get it out, what it is that they're going through, because I feel that we need to have an outlet. We need to have more places where men can talk. You also know that you're a part of my prayer group as well.
Yes.
I'm totally with men coming together a couple of days during the week to lift each other up and just kind of like a wellness check, make sure we're well mentally, physically, and our families are well. And if not, do they care to share? So
Yes.
I'm totally into that. So, Bear, if you can just tell us your story. I know your story, and it's a very touching one. But I pray that your story will help others who may be going through something that you're about to talk about. So I'm going to let you do your thing, and let us just tell us your story, brother, if you don't mind.
Yes, I gotta make it. I gotta condense it because I could take up the next 6 hours.
Well, we're gonna let you do what you do, brother.
Thank you for having this platform, Trust. I want to thank you. I want to give you your flowers as well. I'm overwhelmed. It's kind of bittersweet because I'm meeting you because of the situation that happened with my son. And I don't know if we talked about it in our prayer group, but I was a DJ for 30 years. So I could probably go through. You could look, here's some of my equipment over here. You could probably look and see. So there's my wall of celebrities that I've met through the years. And my son died by suicide 3 years ago, 4/15/22. I was a single father raising my kids. I graduated high school, went into the military, got out of the military. I'm from New York, Long Island, And I got involved in, in the street game, hustling and running around. Got incarcerated, and while incarcerated, my kids came to visit me, my two kids at the time, and I said, you know what? When Daddy gets home, he's not gonna get in no more trouble. And I got home, had a daughter when I came home, started working, and my son would always tell me, Dad, when I want to come live with you, I want to come live with you. And I said, look, Dad got to get his stuff together first, and then once I do that, then I'm coming to get you. Once I got myself together, I went, got my kids, and I was a single father from 2000 until I met my wife in 2005, and then we got married in 2007. And my children all lived with me legally, the whole 9 yards. And I thought it was gonna be.
Now, brother, I'm not trying to cut you off. You just said something that you normally don't hear, and I gotta, this is what we do. You said that you have your custody of your kids, a male, the
Yes.
man.
Yes. Yep.
Talk about that real quick. That's kind of like that's
I learned, and at one point, Trust, I was saying that I'm an exception to the norm, but I'm actually not. There's a lot of men, all races, colors, everything, because I'm in a couple of groups with that also, of men that have legal custody of their children and raising their children. And
that's the kudos, man, because you don't really, they never talk about that.
No, they don't. They talk about men that aren't there for the kids, that, white, black, red, green, all, especially us though. But trust me, there's a lot of us men of color that are raising our kids, but because of the stereotypes and everything else, I took my baby mother to court for child support.
Did you?
They said because she had other kids and she wasn't working, being taken care of by the state, all she had to give me was $25. And I said, well, I guess y'all got to pay the rest then, because I was incarcerated, and they took me to court.
$25. They're trying to tell you $25 was enough.
Exactly, because she didn't have a job that could provide income. I said, well, y'all giving her the income, so y'all need to pay. And then I said, you know what? I don't even want it. I'm going to take care of my kids. I'm going to work.
Right.
At one point, I had 3 and 4 jobs before I wound up becoming a Class A CDL truck driver. And I have every endorsement you could think of to drive a truck.
Right.
And
right.
I started driving trucks, and it provided a home, put 2 kids through college and everything. My son graduated in 2009. He was a barber. He was a master barber working at Imperial Cut Creators in Bellport with Jimbo, who was one of his mentors, Elroy McMillan, one of his mentors, Jerry, Anthony Roundtree. He worked from the bottom up, sweeping and the whole 9. But let me back up a little bit. The reason he started cutting hair was when he was 10 years old. Actually, a year after I got custody of him, he had to go for school pictures. And he told me the last minute, you know how kids are, Dad, I got to go take, So I went down to the local Family Dollar, got those little cheap clippers that they had there, and just cut his hair. I said, well, look, you going like that. I went to work, came home, and my rule was you don't touch nothing in my room. You don't go in my room. You don't go in Daddy's room. I had the clippers in there. So when I came home, I seen him, and he's like, Dad, please don't get mad. I want to show you something. And I said, okay, because my mother always said, just, hey, don't just jump to conclusions. He was like, I want to show you something. And I looked, I said, wait a minute, your hair doesn't look like it did this morning. My son went in the bathroom and took every open mirror in the house, every chair, and positioned all of the mirrors and everything so he could look in the mirror and see every angle of his head.
And cut his hair.
And he cut his own hair, shaped it up and everything. And I was like, wow. He was like, Dad, no. He goes, I know what I want to do. I want to cut hair. I said, okay. I took him to my buddy's barbershop and I said, Shaheem want to cut hair. He said, okay, bring him down. And he started from the bottom, sweeping floors. He would go to school during the weekend when he was still young, in the barbershop. And then once he got old enough, he took the barbering program at the school, and it just went crazy. He brought home the list and said, Dad, I have to get my own clippers.
Right.
And I was still, struggling and everything with them. And I was like, okay, borrowed the money from my mother, got him the clippers that he needed, and the rest is history. He just excelled. He became a master barber. And when he graduated high school, my rule was you're either going to go to college, you're going to go to work,
Right.
or you're going to be moving.
Right.
And we went to a couple of different trade schools, and he said he didn't want to do that. And I said, okay, well, you're going to pay a bill and you're going to work. But the
Right.
thing I did with my kids was I didn't need their money to take care of the house. I didn't need them to help provide. I just wanted to teach them responsibility that, look, you have to pay your way.
Right.
And I would take all of that money and put it to the side. And whenever they needed money, Dad, I need a couple of dollars for gas. I'm giving them their own money back. Okay.
Right. It's
And
their
then
money.
he came.
Right.
Then he came to me one day and he said, Dad, I think I'm gonna move. And I said, what? You don't have to go. Everything. He goes, nah. And naturally it was because of a girl. And he moved in with this young lady, and he started cutting, and he was doing his thing. He saved his money, bought a car, and he developed his own repertoire. He had people waiting for him. Then all of a sudden he tells me one day, Dad, I got something to tell you. I said, what? I'm going in the Navy. I said, for what? You're good. You done established yourself. You're working on getting your own thing. And he said to me, well, my mother said to me, when you have a circle of friends, when you feel like you're the smartest person in that circle, you need to get
Need
another
new
circle.
friends. Yeah.
Okay.
New friends.
Because
Yeah.
everybody needs to be able to learn from everybody.
Right.
And he did that, had an amazing career. The little bit of time he was in the Navy, and he did the reserve program, then came home. And it's that thing when you have children where you figure, well, once they get grown, they're going to be good. And I won't have to worry as much. Man, listen, I tell all my parents, you better cherish them years when that child can walk between 1 and 10 and 11. Because once they get past that, they start coming into their own, wanting to do their own thing, and you're going to have less and less and less control. And I thought I had talked about everything with my children. Transparency, told them what they needed to know about my days running around. And we never talked about mental health. We never talked about, have you thought about hurting yourself? My son actually even said to me, Dad, I'm too pretty to commit suicide. And I was like, yeah, yep, you're right. 'Cause, and then that other stigma, people of color don't do that. We don't kill ourselves. Okay. And he went through a mental breakdown in 2021. He had a daughter, and the daughter's mother was playing games. She was from Puerto Rico, and they would go to Puerto Rico or go to Florida and bouncing back. We actually went on a family vacation, and we had been talking with them all before. We was on a Carnival cruise, and we were picking up the Carnival cruise ship in Puerto Rico. So the thing was, the ship didn't leave until 5 in, it was 8 o'clock at night when the ship left. So we got our flight to get there at 7 o'clock in the morning. So we would have all day. Everybody was excited. Boom, we get there, no contact, no nothing. And I called a friend of mine up, and I'm like, yo, look, I know exactly where they are. I'm gonna rent a car and go. And he was like, yo, Bear, you can't go. You can't go in that neighborhood, man. You don't know nobody. You can't go. I said, look, my son want to see his daughter. He tried to make some phone calls to get somebody to escort us to the town in Puerto Rico, because he was only like 30 minutes away from the pier. And it didn't work. And while we were on the ship, he's calling, and I could tell it was bothering him. needless to say, we had no contact. We get back home to New York. A week later, she want to call and be like, "Oh, my phone was dead," and well, and I told my son then, I said, "Son, I don't want to talk to them because if I talk to them, you ain't never gonna see your daughter. I don't want to see them. I can't believe these games they played." Little did I know that that was one thing that was getting on them, and it was just a
Yeah, you know
lot.
what? And I mean to cut you off. I believe that, when it comes to, excuse me, because I want you to continue, but when it comes to men and their kids, bro, that you try to play with our kids or take away our kids, and we love them, and you take it away and you stopping us from trying to see our kids, bro.
Yep, yep.
That's enough to tear any man apart, man.
Yep.
Talk
And
about it. Go ahead.
he held it in. He held it in really good. And then the other girls or women that he was dealing with, I didn't realize he became attached to their children. And I remember him calling me one day, and I was like, "Yo, son, what are you doing?" He said he was going to the store to go school shopping. And I said, "School shopping? You ain't in school." He's like, "Nah, I'm buying clothes for so and so." I said, "Wait a minute. I thought you're not with this girl." He's like, "Nah, but I'm still looking out for little man." And I said to him, I said, "Son, that's not your responsibility." And then he looked at me in the face, Trust, and he said, "Well, look, Dad, I understand what you're saying, but I want to give these young men what I had." And I said, "What you mean?" Well, he goes, "I had you, and they don't have anybody, and I want them to be okay." And then, I was like, a part of me was like saying, "Well, why aren't the girls saying he doesn't have to?" I found out that they were telling him. They were saying, "Shaheem, you don't have to do that. We're not together on this. But he said, "Nah, I want them to have that feeling of what I had growing up,
Right.
And I was like, what am I going to say to that?
Right.
Okay. I said, "But just be careful. And when you feel it's too much, you know, and it just kept going and going and going. And then during his mental breakdown, he was in Georgia.
I was about to say, when you say mental breakdown, what do you know? What exactly was he doing?
We really didn't really get the whole thing because I was trying to get him help when he came home, and he was listening to people tell him certain things, and he was trying to fit in, with other people, and it wasn't working because what I'm getting ready to tell you now is what he told me when we talked on Wednesday, 2 days before he took his life. He said that he was hearing voices in his head, and
Bro,
the reason he had took all of his clothes and put it inside the tub, because he actually had got arrested in Georgia because he took all of his clothes, put it in the bathtub, and set it on fire with his clothes, the phone, and everything because he thought he was hearing voices and he thought he was being followed. So he wound up getting arrested in Georgia, and I prided myself on the fact that I didn't want my kids to have to go through what I went through. Having somebody tell you when to go to bed, when to wake up, when to eat, when to sleep. And I found out from his fiance that was weighing on him, that he felt like he let me down because he had got himself arrested. And then he's listening to the jailhouse lawyers, about, "Oh man, you burnt up the hotel room. They're gonna give you all these years and blah blah blah." And when I got a chance to talk to him when he needed the bail money, I was like, "I'm not gonna let you go to jail. So you're gonna stay there, let whatever's in your system get cleaned out, and I'm gonna be on my way." But there were other factors that were beyond my control, and he got bailed out. And he was actually in Clayton County in Georgia, the same county where Ahmaud Arbery got killed by them gentlemen. He was walking around for almost 18 hours. By the grace of God, nothing happened to him down there. Because if something would have happened to him down there, I can't even imagine what would have happened, what I would have did. But he came home. We talked at the barbershop, and I left him at the barbershop on Wednesday, and he texted me and he said, "Dad, if anything ever happens to me, I don't want a funeral." And I said, what do you mean you don't want a funeral? I turned around and went back to the barbershop. I said, what? Do I need to, do I need to throw the Timbs on? What's going on? Who you got a problem with? He's like, no, nothing like that. Just, and I'm like, son, what is going on? Do you want me to help you? And he looked at me and it looked like it was that 5-year-old boy. He said, yeah, Dad, I want your help. I said, okay. I said, tomorrow I got to go to the VA so I can fill out my forms for the VA and get my physical. And then when I come back from that, I'm gonna take you to Stony Brook. Stony Brook is a hospital out here on Long Island where they got a psychiatric ward. And he was like, okay. And I went to the VA on Thursday. We had been texting. He said he was doing okay. And when I left the VA, I went home because I had such a mad headache from dealing with the VA and the people up there.
Right.
And I texted him and I said, son, I'm really tired. I'm going to go home and I'm going to see you tomorrow. And he said, he texted me, okay. He goes, I got to go back. I got a couple more clients to cut and I'm good. And I said, okay, cool. Friday, I got up to go to work and I sent him a text message saying, yo, and we had that joke, that Kevin Hart skit where Kevin says, the way my checking account is set up with my savings account, and, that little skit he did, I'm like, yo, I'm going to come get my hair cut today, but, the way my checking account is set up, but he never responded. And I'm like, oh, he probably still asleep. And then at about, I think 9 or 10 o'clock, I got the call that something was going on. And I called my brother, James Hall Jr., who's been a rock. I talk to him every single day. I've known that man. We've known each other since 1979, done everything together. And I said, look, I need you to go down to the beach. And it just so happens it was Good Friday. 4/15/22 was Good Friday. And he was off from work. And he went down to the beach. And then he called me and he said, you need to get to the beach. And I said, what's going on? They shot him in handcuffs. What we got to do? He said, just get down here to the beach. And I was in an 18-wheeler with propane. And when you watching movies, Trust, if it was a movie, I would have took the propane truck, drove crazy on the road, crashed the cars and everything. That's what it looks like in the movies. Right. And then I get there and the truck spins around and I jump out of the truck and they say, no, that's his father. And
no.
But this is real life. If I would have did that, they would have locked my ass up. So I drove the truck back to the yard, hopped in my car, drove to the beach, and you got to go across a little bridge when you get to that beach. And when I looked over, I saw all of the police tape. And every time I tell this story, I'm saying, like, how did all of these people find out? Because there was a lot of people over there.
Right.
And I'm like, how did these people find out? And then I drive in and I park my car. I see his car. And what I'm telling you now is what my daughters told me is that I got out of the car. I started walking over. The one police officer came to me and my daughter said, I just pushed him out the way and he fell back. The other cop came up to me. I remember him putting his hand out. He said, I grabbed his hand and just started walking. And then another cop came and then another cop. And my daughter said, it looked like you was running for a touchdown and you were just dragging the police. And then I could see the car and I'm trying to see what's going on inside the car. Right. And then all I heard was my brother, James, King Jeru, say, that's his father. And then the cops let go. And I looked and I seen my son in his car slumped to the driver's side. And we looked at the window, but there was no glass on the outside of the window. So naturally, my street senses kick in and I looked. I just had that look with my brother like, you know what's about to happen now, right? Because I knew about a couple of people that I knew we had issues with. And I was like, okay, you know what's about to happen. And then the detectives came and they were waiting for the coroner's wagon to come. And when that happened, they went in, they looked everything. The detective came to me and he was like, Mr. Alexander, I need to talk to you. And I was like, look, all I need to know, if there is no gun in that car, it's going to be a problem. You know, well, we need to sit down. I said, look, I don't want to sit down. I need you to know if there's a gun in that car. And he said, yes, there was a gun in the car. And I said, but there's no glass on the outside. So somebody shot inside. And he was like, no. Because Shaheem had so much heavy tint on his window, the tint held all of the glass. And like I said, when we started, he was slumped to the driver's side. If somebody would have shot in, he would have been slumped to the passenger side. And the detective said, yes, he took his life. And the detective was really good because when they was ready to take him out of the car, he called me and I was able to go over and I was able to hug my son and give him a kiss and look at his face. And even now, as I'm reflecting on it, I can't see the hole in his head. All I see is my son's face calm as if he's asleep. When I turn 55, I'll be 59 the end of this month. When I turned 55, I took a road trip with my sons. And I'm so glad that I did that. And we drove from New York to North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Mississippi, and I was gonna go to Texas, but my sister called and she had to go into surgery. So we left Mississippi, went back through Georgia, and then went down to Florida to Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And it was me and my two boys. My third son, he was still in college. And I got a picture of Shaheem in the car sleeping as I'm driving. And that's exactly how he looked when they pulled him out of the car. After that happened, I did a lot of research on what happens when you shoot yourself. And I tell people, think about if you put your fingers up to your head as if you're going to shoot yourself. What do? You, even though you know it's not a gun, you wince your face. You close your eye. You tighten your eye. Shaheem looked like he was sleeping, like he was peacefully rest at sleep. In his car, he had a Buddhist Bible. He was very spiritual, trying to learn about the different religions. He had a picture of me and him from when we had first got the house and we had put this model car together. I think that's actually my on my Facebook. I think that's my profile picture. And he had a picture of his mom with his other sisters. And the car looked like he had been sleeping in the car. And it was just
I'm so sorry, brother. I don't.
Yep, it was he didn't leave a note. He didn't, it wasn't like he left a note or anything. And afterwards I found out about things that had been happening, being manipulated, being just a lot of things that he had been going through that he hadn't talked about. And even the brothers at the barbershop said he fooled everybody because that Thursday he cut hair all day long. He had $320. How do I know? That's what he had in his pocket when I went to get his property. In my shed, I got the clothes that he had on. I got them wrapped up in a bag. And when I'm debating now, when I go do some talks to kids, I'm gonna get them clothes and I'm gonna put it inside a vacuum packed bag to show them this is what happens. You need to talk.
Right.
And I tell the parents, because even when he was going through that mental breakdown, as a parent, I was like, he was outbursting and everything. As a parent, you say, wait a minute, I raised you. You don't talk to me like that. And I tell all my parents, don't take it personal. If you know your child is not of that temperament, if you know your child is not that type of person, and they aren't in their normal character,
Mm-hmm.
stop yourself and say, well, wait a minute. I know, I know Trust ain't like that. Hold on. Let me see what's going on
Mm-hmm.
before. But I, as a black parent, as a father, as a man, was like, hold on. You don't talk to me like that. When my son comes back of the son that I raised, boom, versus me saying, you know what, that's not Shaheem. Let me hop on this plane and get down there quick so I can find out what's going on.
Right.
You know,
Right.
um,
And I'm so
I went,
sorry.
the,
Um,
I went through the therapy, and even now, I mean, not went through, still going through it,
I still go through
and
it too, brother. So
and
it's okay.
and my therapist has said that once we went through the timeline and the things that he was doing, he was a sneakerhead. He liked buying sneakers and selling them and everything else, and clothes. He would always give his clothes away and his sneakers away and buy new stuff. So it wasn't odd for him to do that. But what was odd was that he wasn't replacing it with new stuff. So he was actually giving stuff
Giving
away
yeah.
because he knew what he wanted to do. You know, and
And I'm just so I'm
yeah,
just so sorry that because that had to have a very a terrible impact on you as a dad
yeah.
as well. Um, so I know you got some other things coming on. I want you to stay with me, all right? Don't go nowhere, okay? We're not finished. I have another gentleman by the name of Unique, all right, that I would like you to sit here and listen to his story. And then after, um, we're gonna figure out how we can make something positive out of the situation. Okay?
Can
Uh,
I read some replies for him? There's
huh?
some people speaking to him on the YouTube channel.
What they saying?
They're speaking to him, just giving condolences,
Yeah.
saying that he has a good heart.
I just want to let you know, Bear, that you have some people that are on YouTube that are sending you condolences and 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 um and
Prayers and blessings.
sinceres and
Thank you.
blessings. Because I know you can't see it, but I think
No,
you need to know that what's going on over here.
good.
Everybody,
Let him know if you can
you can
type
speak.
in. Let them know that they can follow me on Instagram at Big Bears Everywhere.
Okay, we're going to type it into. They heard you, and we're going to type it in. What? Can you repeat that again?
Big Bear is everywhere. Put it in one word. Big Bears everywhere. And through my Instagram, I have the Instagram that I started for my son.
Right, and we're going to talk about that. Don't go nowhere. We're going to talk.
Okay.
That's the most important thing right there too. We're going to talk about that. But coming up right now, I'm going to bring somebody else on audio. His name is Unique, and he too has a story very similar to you to you, and I want him to come on um so that we could fellowship together.
Hmm.
uh, you know what I mean? So let's welcome Unique to the show right now. Unique, are you there? Hello? I can't hear him. Hello, Unique.
He's there.
He's there?
He's probably muted and stuff.
Okay. Just give him a second. Brother, that was your can you why they trying
Yeah,
to
well, you guys are
yeah
doing
why they trying to do that. um Let me just let you know what the people are saying so that you know. um we have Mel B7778. She says blessings to you.
Thank you, bro.
um
Thank you.
Kathy White, parents should have parents shouldn't have to bury the kids, man. I
Got
can
that right.
only I can only imagine what you're going through.
Yeah.
Um, pray God.
Actually, trust. Let her know. I don't want her to have to imagine what I'm going through. I don't want no parent.
Hear you.
Huh? She can hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want no parent to have to imagine this. If I could do anything, I wish I could cut everybody's head open and put compassion in there to say we as a world, as human beings, need to have more compassion for our fellow human being, because
Yes.
everybody has a journey, and we need to not want to take things so personal, and to know that something may happen, but it's not to you. Okay, we all have a little bit of narcissism in us. People say, "I'm not." We all have that where we want everything to be about us. It's just some people have that narcissism at 100. Okay, but it's opened me up to really look at myself. Number one, at me and how I look at the world, and then to say, what can I do to help somebody?
Right.
That first year was kind of tough, and then my therapist was like, why am I going to let somebody dictate how I'm going to honor my son? And we started the Shaheem Baloo the Barber 363 Foundation to honor my son.
Right.
And
if you could just hold that,
yes,
hold that,
okay.
okay? Just hold that, because we're gonna get into that. Unique, are you there? Peace, brother, are you there? I can hear, I can hear you well. I was just waiting for you to get it together. I know that, you was gonna get it together.
I can't hear him.
You can't. Okay, you can't hear. Oh, so you won't be able to hear what Unique is saying? No.
Well,
Oh,
as long as everybody else can hear it.
yeah, everybody else can hear, but
people on the podcast audio side can hear. He's the visual.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, you bear with me 1 second, okay?
Yes.
I'm going to connect y'all. All right. But let the audience. I need let the audience. We got to figure out how Bear can hear. Bear needs to hear exactly what Unique is saying, because it's going to be helpful. They're going to help each other.
You know what, Trust? I'm gonna use my other phone. What's the YouTube?
Yeah. Go to the YouTube for me.
I'm gonna go to YouTube, and then this way I can interact with everybody on the YouTube.
Yeah.
What's the YouTube?
Sounds good. That sounds good. YouTube is Talkin Wit TRus.
Can he open the link in his email? He can join the audio as well instead of going on the YouTube.
If you go to your you could go to your YouTube. If you go to your YouTube, right? Go to your YouTube, and then you could communicate with people on your YouTube. It's Talkin Wit TRus.
So you're spelling wit with WIT, right?
Talkin TALKIN WIT.
WIT. Okay.
Yes. With TRus, TRUS.
Talk with Trust
Podcast. And then you'll be
coming up.
It says it right here. Yeah, talking TAL. Make sure you're spelling it right. TALKIN. Wit TRus. TRUS.
TALKI. Okay. No G. We got the Ebonics. Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I gotta.
Yep.
You good?
Talking with Trust. Okay, let's see. Bingo. Oh, I see me.
So you should be able to hear. Now you should be able to hear.
Okay. I'm gonna turn my volume down on this one.
Yep. And then you can listen to his story, and then we're gonna figure it out. Okay.
Talking with Trust. Okay, let's see.
Yes, I hear you good.
Oh, I see me.
All right, so you should be able to hear. Now you should be able to hear.
Okay, I'm gonna turn my volume down on this one.
Can you turn? Can you listen to his story? You have to mute. We need to figure it out. Okay. Bear, we need you to mute your. We need you to mute your. Yes, I hear you good. Bear, we need you to. So you should be able to hear. Now you should be able to hear.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Here we go. I did it. It's all good. Mute. It's right there. All right. Okay, we good. Okay, there we go, right there. Okay, Unique, you good? Okay, I'm sorry about that, brother. I'm sorry about that. All right, so we have Unique on the phone. Unique has another touching story, um, very similar to very similar to Bear's story. Um, and I would like Unique to elaborate. I'm going to sit back and we're going to let Unique elaborate a little bit more and tell you about his story, and then we're going to continue at that point. So Unique, well, let's welcome Unique to the show, everybody. Okay, Unique, it's all you. Can you tell us about your story? Thank you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's nobody complaining over there, right? Yeah, that's good. Everything's good. I just want to say real quick, my condolences to you and your family, my brother. I need to say that. Can I ask you a question, brother? So when did you? We're going to get a little, just a little deep, because this is what we do here. When did you notice? Because we want to help people, we want to help others, right? So when did you notice a change, or if you did notice a change, what was it? How did you know that the depression was? Can you elaborate a little bit on that so that we could at least know what we could look out for or something like that if we around it or whatever? Hmm. When you say cutting himself, what do you mean? Like, just in case. What do you, oh, This is at 12? 15, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't want to. I don't want to add too much to you, man. You know what I'm saying? I know if it, right, right. It's just that I just find it so, like I said, I just want to help people. I just want to help people, and get people to understand, what exactly it is to I don't know, to notice something, so that if they're around somebody or if they got another family member or something like that. Right, right. Yeah, I'm so sorry, and I know once again because Bear, I know Bear we was talking about, and he, he's on the prayer line, to help him deal, and he goes to therapy, to help him deal with the situation. Is there anything that you do to help you deal with something like that? What you going through? Hmm. Right. Okay, so now let's talk about what it is that you and your family are doing. I had the pleasure of meeting your beautiful family, your wife, your kids, and everything. Um, and I like what you guys are doing. So now let's shift gears here. I would like Big Bear to listen in on this. Um, Okay, cool. Let everybody know, Unique, what it is that you decided to do um because of this situation this unfortunate situation. What it is that you're doing now. Right. So the reason being because I was speaking to Bear, and Bear also um is going the same route as well. He has I would like him to talk real quick on, it's God is just working. I would like him to talk real quick about what it is that he's doing, which is very similar to what you're doing. So Bear, if you could just talk and let us know what it is that you're doing. And Bear is also from Long Island. Both of you guys are from Long Island. I got it. Yeah, his name is Unique. Yeah, his son's name is Sincere.
Hmm.
Hmm. And I'm sorry. Go ahead. I mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
a local restaurant.
That's good. Congratulations, man. Congratulations. I know that you've been working on that. So unique. So tell us more about the your boxing event that you have going on. So that you can bring awareness about Sincere 2000 and so on. Tell us more about that now. That's dope. Maybe y'all two could, you know, could piece something together. I would definitely will make that connection. Um, yeah. So I mean, guys, the time is limited. That part. And I know that everybody has something to do, and I pray that everybody who listened today got something from it. And can you do me a favor, Unique, and then Bear, Unique, if you could tell people where they could catch you, where they could if they want to donate or what have you, if you can do that real quick, and then after we do this, I have Pastor TJ. He's going to say like a little benediction for us head up out of here. But if you could just let everybody know what it is, where they can find your information. You got that, guys. Sincere 2000 on all platforms. On all platforms. And Big Bear, got it. All right. Yeah, you got to be careful. You got to be careful with the scams. Um, um, Pastor TJ, are you there? How you doing? How you doing, sir? Thank you, sir. So if you could just let us out, if you have anything, anything that would do us good, I would appreciate it so we could get off the air, please, sir. Thank you, my brother. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And God bless everybody else tonight. We'll see you next time on Talking with Trust. We love y'all and be blessed. Thank you to my guest, Big Bear, and thank you, Unique. And God bless you guys and condolences to you guys' family. We love y'all and peace. Thank you. Thank you, Unique. Thank you. Thank you.